I hope I am live. I think I'm live. I'm not 100% sure. If you can see this right now, just quickly let me know in the chat box. Because I believe we are live, but nobody's in the chat just quite yet. Maybe today notifications are not going out. I have seen some more issues with notifications recently, so I'll just give it a little minute. Oh, no, there we go. All right, we got a couple of people in here. So, long story short, about 45 minutes ago or so, it's been officially confirmed from Ripple's side. And now, you might ask yourself, why are you so late? Why are you like 40 minutes in? I was like sleeping, all right? I was like... Not actually sleeping, but almost. Anyway, let's talk about what I was doing afterwards. Let's quickly cover this news and then dive into what's happening. By the way, y'all, if you've not done it yet, make sure you go ahead and quickly press that like button. We've got a couple hundred people in instantly within the first minute. We've not been even going for a minute. We've got 250 people in, which pretty good if you ask me. Pretty cool if you ask me to get a couple hundred people in within a minute. Pretty cool. Anyway, regardless, make sure you press that like button if you're enjoying these daily crypto updates, videos, live streams, whatever. And let's dive right in. So, a little while ago, Ripple's team basically shared this. The final crossing of T's and dotting of I's, and what should be my last update on the SEC v Ripple ever. Last week, the SEC agreed to drop its appeal without conditions. Ripple has now agreed to drop its cross appeal. So, if you're wondering what that means, Ripple now has stated that they do not want this lawsuit to go on, and officially, it's over. So a few days ago, right, I covered it and was pretty excited because the SEC dropped their part. And that was basically the SEC stating they do not want the lawsuit to continue on. They just want to accept the $125 million fine. It was only Ripple that said they do not want to accept it. But that has now changed. Take a look. So Ripple have now agreed to drop their cross appeal. The SEC will keep $50 million out of the $125 million in fines, already in an interest-bearing escrow in cash anyway, with the balance, the rest, the 75 I guess, returned back to Ripple. The agency will also ask the court to lift the standard injunction that was imposed earlier at the SEC's request, which basically stopped Ripple from doing certain business activities, all subject to commission vote, drafting of final documents, and usual court processes, and that's all. So the last part basically means, hey, this is what they've discussed. Ripple took their hands off. They want to pay a $50 million fine instead of $125, and the SEC agreed to that. As far as I understand it. It's just basically the commission has to vote on this, and, well, some final documents need to be gotten out there, etc., etc. You guys get it, right? Y'all get it. But regardless, pretty big deal, all right? Pretty big news. And now to get back to it, man, I was laying in bed chilling, all right? I was having a good time learning some language, just enjoying life. But then I realized, what just happened? To a certain extent, it's not that big a deal. And the reason I'm saying that is because when you really start dabbling into it, is it really that crazy? No, because we already expected either Ripple's going to get rid of this cross appeal or they're going to fight it to the end and win. So the reason I am in the middle is because it's a pretty big deal that the lawsuit is now officially over within a few days probably. I mean, it just depends on how quickly Ripple / the SEC / commission, etc. Can get these files out there. But for the most part, we're now really done. So it's kind of strange to me. Like, being real here, it's kind of odd that after all these years, this lawsuit can now really be over, and that really we got to start focusing on the next steps. The ETF, Ripple's business activities is really called it, XRP's real utility. All this lawsuit talk we've had for years is all of a sudden not relevant anymore. By the way, whoever's watching, where are y'all watching from right now? Let's see, we got a couple different ones here in the chat, but not that many. So you see a couple of y'all are not used to the stream, all right? Because what they always used to do is whenever you guys join in, you quickly say where you're watching from. But today, not such good attendance. All right, let's see here real quick what we got. We got Alabama, we got San Diego, we got Texas, Virginia. These guys have fast internets, I guess. Huh? They're here quick. Look at that. We got Netherlands, we got Florida, we got Boston, Trinidad, Kansas, Stockholm, Sweden, Florida, LA. Why does the SEC say anything about it? I mean, if you don't trust Ripple as a source, that might be a bit of an issue, but I trust Ripple to be accurate with their information. So I think it's just a matter of time. On the opposite side, why would they say anything about it? Because they just lowered their fine from 125 million to 50. To a certain extent, it's actually negative for them. Mauritius, UK, Houston, Texas, Mauritius, again. You just said it double. When Lambo, soon, my friend, is what I think. Finland, Virginia, Mauritius. You were adamant about the Mauritius, huh? Florida, Belgium, Brampton, New Zealand. Damn. Dubai, Canada. Okay, we got worldwide right now. All right. Here in Singapore is right around about 2:44 p.m. a.m. actually, matter of fact. Damn. Could be better. Could be worse. Regardless. So Fred Rispoli, whom we've covered a couple of times, also a lawyer. He said, can someone, Eleanor, whatever, please reach out to all the attorneys at the SEC that spends thousands of hours on the case and ask them how it feels to have all that hard work, stress, time away from family, friends, and family wiped out in an instant. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a savage post. Because really, when you start dissecting it, it is really a very, very negative outcome from the SEC. But mostly, today's announcement is not that crazy, like I've just told you already a few times here. It's not something that really should be moving the price because, well, for the most part, what Ripple here has done, if I see it correct. And by the way, should I also go live on X sometimes? Whenever I do these streams, I might also want to go live on X. I've never done that, but it might actually be something quite cool. Regardless, it's just Ripple taking their hands back and agreeing to a fine. I, from a certain perspective, just love to see it because it just ends the chapter. But the moment the SEC withdrew their cross appeal, or sorry, their appeal, basically that was the moment when the price should have done something crazy. But this is also, again, a moment where some people get a bit overzealous. They're like, oh, the price is not moving, so it's all shit, let's sell. Well, I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. Anyway, see, this is what a lot of people right now might be thinking. So, Justin, Ripple has agreed to drop its appeal against the SEC and pay a $50 million fine of the original $125 million. The SEC will also ask the judge to lift the obey the law injunction she imposed on Ripple in addition to the fine. Once all of this has been voted on by the commission and the court's documents are in order, the SEC v. Ripple case will officially be over once and for all. So, it's basically right now, all right? For the most part, it is over. It's just a matter of court documents. So, yeah, if you're asking why not a crazy price bump, because not that much has changed. It's just Ripple and the SEC coming to a bit of a conclusion, but nothing really out of the ordinary or unexpected. Then again, I've told you before, a lot of the things we are seeing right now in terms of news, I personally think these are going to start adding up, resulting in bigger price gains when Bitcoin starts going on a bit of a run again, right? But let me quickly see here what Bitcoin is doing right now. So Bitcoin right now, for the most part, still going mostly sideways in comparison to where it was at yesterday. And XRP also in that same fashion going sideways. There's a couple of coins that are actually on the up and up. For example, Movement has done some pretty juicy move because of some of the news that came out. And Crow because of their Trump announcement. I'll talk about that a bit more tomorrow. We've got AVAX up roughly 7%, so a couple of coins are actually up, but really nothing too crazy. And that's just mostly because I think the general enthusiasm in the crypto market right now is quite low. But again, give it a little bit of time is what I'll say about that. Give it a little bit of time. XRP, in my opinion, is just solidifying its position better and better for the crazier run. And I think the next big thing to watch is probably ETFs, probably something along those lines, or again, another Trump announcement of sorts. Why no crazy spike? Let's see what some of the people were saying. It's already priced in. Yeah, could definitely be. Somebody says, Unreal, we were gaslighted for years. Somebody says, because first off, it's not over. Second, the case has no effect on the price action. It's a narrative and bullshit distraction. I have more XP than anyone I see on here. I don't know better than that. Stop listening to influencers. Interesting thought process, but I mostly agree to the other, or with the other ones, which is most likely already kind of priced in that this would happen, something of the sort, because it's not that surprising of a result here. Somebody says, Dusty, look at the chart. The bull run is over. I still refuse to believe the bull run is over. I still believe that the peak will be somewhere around September or so of this year. I still believe that to the core of my heart. Again, we're never sure, right? But that's still, for the most part, what I believe. It just makes too much sense. Regardless, that was mostly the interesting part that was going on. I can sit here talking about XRP for hours. I can sit here talking about my Blowfin trades for hours, but really not that much has changed. All I can say is, if you're looking for a platform to trade on, I've got a link down below to Blowfin. You can check it out, or WeX or whatever. There's a couple links down below. And, well, we're just preparing ourselves right now. The real crazy part of the run is probably not even here just quite yet. And really, that's about it, right? Just now, officially, the lawsuit is over. Pretty big news, pretty big deal. But the real craziness is not here. This was probably priced in already. But, you know, I want to know a fun thing. You could just wake up tomorrow with another crazy price spike. I mean, it's XRP. Usually the way the coin runs, it's kind of unpredictable. It does some crazy moves like that. So all I can say about that is just don't give up. Understand the process. It's not a short-term game, right? This is a longer-term game. And ladies and gents, that's about it for this little stream, all right? I don't want to take much of your time. All I want to say is the lawsuit is officially over. All it takes is for a little pen to hit the paper. Yeah, I see a lot of different opinions in the chat, but I'll leave it at that for today. Some of you guys are saying freaking Dusty Hefner. What is this? Because I'm wearing a freaking bathrobe? Is that it? Is that too crazy? Interesting. How much do you send? Oh, great. Man, interesting chat we've got today. That is diabolical. Some of the posts I'm seeing right here. Interesting. Anyway, guys, that was it for this little update. Don't want to spend too much time on this. Just wanted to quickly say this is what's going on. That's about it. See you later, guys. Make sure you put the notification bell. Make sure you press the like button. That's about it.